Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start freelancing. The day you accept your first paying client, you are personally on the hook for everything that business does. If a project goes sideways and someone sues, they're not coming after your business. You don't have a business. They're coming after your car, your savings, the equity in your house, all of it. An LLC is the wall between that lawsuit and your personal stuff. And setting one up costs less than most people spend on coffee in a month. But there's one step that half the freelancers I know skip, and it quietly puts their home address on the public internet forever. I'll show you exactly where that trap is and how to dodge it. Stick with me. Let's answer the real question first, because some of the loudest advice online says form an LLC on day one, and that's not always true. If you're making a couple $100 doing freelance work on the side, you're already a sole proprietor. That's automatic. You don't file anything. You just report the income on your taxes and move on. So when does the LLC actually earn its keep? Two situations. One, your work carries any real risks. You write code that could break someone's site, you give advice people act on, you touch anything a client could blame you for. Two, you're making enough that protecting it matters. Once you're clearing something like $15,000 to $20,000 a year in freelance income, the LLC is a no-brainer. You've got something worth walling off now. And here's the part the wait forever crowd gets wrong. An LLC also makes you look legit. Clients take Jordan Miller LLC more seriously than a personal Venmo request. Bigger companies sometimes won't even hire you without one. So it's not just protection, it's a door opener. If that's you, let's build it. 6 steps. First, your name. 2 rules. It has to be different from every other business registered in your state, and it has to end with LLC or limited liability company. Go to your state Secretary of State website and use their business name search. Type in the name you want. If it's taken, you'll know in about 10 seconds. This is free. Do not skip it and just hope, because the state will reject your whole filing over a name collision and you'll be starting over. Quick tip, if you freelance under your own name, you can absolutely be your name LLC. Simple, clean, done. Now the step I promised you in the hook. This is where people get burned. Every LLC needs a registered agent. That's just a person or company that accepts legal mail and official notices for your business. Fine, boring. Here's the trap. You're allowed to list yourself as your own registered agent and it feels free, so people do it. But your registered agent's address becomes public record. Anyone can look it up. If you're a freelancer working from your apartment, that means your home address is now searchable by every client, every spammer, and every random person on the internet forever. That's why I use a registered agent service instead. Their address goes on the public record, not mine. My home stays private. For most freelancers, that peace of mind alone is worth it, and I'll show you the exact service I trust in a minute. Next, the actual filing. This is the document that legally creates your LLC, and depending on your state, it's called the Articles of Organization or the Certificate of Formation. Same thing. You file it with your Secretary of State online in about 15 minutes. You'll put in your business name, your address, your registered agent, and the members, which is just a fancy word for owners. If it's only you, you're the single member. Then you pay the state filing fee. This is the one real cost, and it swings hard by state. Kentucky is $40, most states land somewhere between $100 and $150. California is $70 to file, but then hits you with the $800 annual franchise tax, so California folks know that going in. Drop your state in the comments and I'll tell you your exact number. Approval takes anywhere from a few minutes to 2 weeks depending on the state. Once it's approved, congratulations, you officially have an LLC. Now grab an EIN. That's your business's tax ID, like a social security number for your company. This is free, straight from the IRS. Go to irs.gov, search EIN, fill out the online application, and you get your number instantly at the end. Do not pay anyone $40 for this. It takes 10 minutes and it costs you nothing. You need the EIN for the next step, which is the one that actually makes your LLC do its job. Open a separate business bank account. I know, it sounds optional, it is not. Here's why it matters. The whole point of an LLC is that wall between you and the business. If you run business money through your personal checking account, you've knocked a hole in that wall. A lawyer can argue your LLC isn't really separate from you, and a judge can let them come after your personal assets anyway. There's a name for this. It's called piercing the corporate veil, and it's exactly the disaster you formed the LLC to avoid. So take your approved articles and your EIN down to a bank or open an account online and keep every dollar of business money in there. Business income in, business expenses out. That clean line is what keeps your protection real. That's the whole build. Name, registered agent, file, EIN, bank account. Now that's completely doable yourself, and I just walked you through it. One service I always recommend for this is Northwest Registered Agent. They keep your information private, handle all the paperwork, and their support is genuinely some of the best in the industry. Link in the description. If you don't want to deal with all this yourself, I highly recommend Northwest Registered Agent. They make it super easy and save you a ton of hassle. Let me walk you through it. It only takes 3 to 5 minutes. Click the exclusive discount link for Northwest below. Then on the website, click on the button to get started. You'll be asked what type of business you're starting and in what state, so just select LLC in your state. Next, you'll be asked to name your company, the purpose of your business, and your business address. Then you type in the members of your LLC, add your contact information, and select any additional services you'd like Northwest to handle, like getting your EIN or setting up a trademark. Once you've done that, all you need to do is submit your payment and you're done. Northwest takes care of the rest for you. And that's it. Northwest takes it from there. If you want to get your LLC done today, the easy way, click the link in the description. So here's your move. Run your name search today. Decide if you're going the private route with a registered agent, which after that home address trap you should. Then file, grab your free EIN, and open that bank account before your next client pays you. Do those 5 things and you've gone from personally exposed to properly protected in about an afternoon. If this cleared things up, hit like and subscribe because I've got more of these coming that keep the legal stuff simple. And drop your state in the comments. I'll come back and tell you your exact filing fee and how long approval takes where you are.